Аккуратненько снимайте.
Все, знімаю. Да.
While the recently ended truce was in effect, Russian forces used the lull in hostilities to advance key engineering operations across critical terrain. One of their main objectives, clearing a path through water obstacles at the Black Stallion River for the deployment of temporary roads. Throughout the ceasefire period, Russian troops utilized Kamaz-based engineering vehicles and committed over 10 infantry and specialized units to the effort. They worked to remove debris and prepare a crossing point, attempting to establish a route for armored vehicles. However, their efforts met fierce resistance. On April 9th, Ukraine's 66th Brigade targeted and destroyed a Kamaz road-laying unit in the area, effectively blocking Russian attempts to move heavy equipment across the river. Despite the setback, Russian forces returned on April 20th with a renewed push to restore the crossing. More troops and machinery were deployed, continuing the effort to clear the river route. All of this while the truce was technically still in effect. Now that the ceasefire has officially ended, Ukrainian forces are on high alert. The earlier Russian activity during the truce is viewed as a calculated move to gain positional advantage before open combat resumed. With the crossing still contested, this area remains a potential flashpoint as hostilities ramp back up. So-called ceasefire hits Uspanivka near Pokrovsk. Russian artillery pounds the village and nearby areas this morning. Deep State notes, this shows why it is important to using the calm to fortify positions or evacuate. But that is tough. Shells can hit any time, and hesitation costs lives. Near Pokrovsk, Russian forces continue to suffer mounting losses as they attempt to push through fortified Ukrainian positions. Over the past week, multiple assault attempts were repelled, with significant damage inflicted on both infantry and armored units. Ukrainian drones and artillery played a key role, striking enemy columns before they could reach engagement range. According to military reports, at least a dozen Russian vehicles, including tanks and APCs, were destroyed or abandoned under fire. Dozens of enemy troops were neutralized during failed assaults on Ukrainian trenches west of the city. Despite the intensity of their offensive, Russian units appear disorganized and under pressure, often advancing without proper support or coordination. Baba Yaga drones continue to be a nightmare for Russian forces. Russian blogger Alexander Karchenko says, Baba Yaga-type drones are used by the enemy so often in the Kursk region that they have begun to replace Mavics with drone-dropped munitions. The enemy has been supplied with so many bony Baba Yaga-type drones that they have begun to perform half of the tasks at the front. Relay, mining, bombing, all this is done using Baba Yaga. It is possible and necessary to fight the enemy's heavy drones. The organization of small air defense is a priority issue at the front. The means for this are there. It remains to establish the system. Russian blogger War Gonzo added, in recent months, the Babka Yoshkas have become a real problem for our troops. In all areas of the front, there has been a constant increase in the number of these large drones capable of carrying a serious payload. Apparently, the enemy has received abundant supplies of these drones, and their number is so great that sometimes they fly several at a time, and they are increasingly seen in daylight. Although Baba Yaga, as we know, is a nocturnal undead.
Передний, задний и хвостик.
Я знімаю останній же залізно.
Аккуратненько снимайте.
Все, знімаю. Да.
Drone operators from the 3rd Battalion of the 40th Separate Rifle Brigade delivered precise strikes this week on concentrations of Russian forces in occupied Kherson region. Ukrainian drones continue to dominate the battlefield, proving to be one of the most effective tools against Russian forces. From commercial quadcopters dropping grenades to long-range FPV drones targeting armored vehicles, these UAVs have reshaped modern warfare. In recent weeks, drone units operating near hotspots like Bakhmut, Avdiivka, and Pokrovsk have successfully destroyed dozens of tanks, supply trucks, and troop concentrations. Footage confirms precision hits on moving targets, command posts, and even trenches, all with minimal risk to Ukrainian operators. The infamous Baba Yaga drones, heavy quadcopters rigged with explosives, have become a nightmare for Russian troops, striking with devastating force and psychological impact. Cheap to produce, quick to deploy, and highly mobile, these drones are allowing Ukraine to inflict disproportionate damage, undermining Russian advances and exposing gaps in their air defense. In many areas, drones are not just supporting the fight, they are leading it. Russians showcase their disposable ground suicide drones designed to attack fortifications and equipment. These remotely controlled, explosive-laden platforms target frontline objectives. The use of ground kamikaze drones in Ukraine has become increasingly prevalent as both Russian and Ukrainian forces have adopted these weapons for strategic advantages. These drones are designed to be small, low-cost, and expendable, making them effective for targeting enemy positions with precision while minimizing the risk to personnel. On the Russian side, these drones are often used to target Ukrainian defensive positions, artillery, and supply lines, leveraging their ability to fly low and strike unexpectedly. Russia's military has made use of various types of drones, including those adapted for ground strikes, which offer a tactical edge by allowing quick, targeted attacks without exposing personnel to direct combat. For Ukraine, the use of ground kamikaze drones has proven to be an efficient countermeasure, particularly in disabling Russian armored vehicles and artillery systems. Ukraine has relied on both commercial and military-grade drones to conduct strikes, using them to create ambushes or harass supply lines, making it difficult for Russian forces to maintain stable front lines. Ukrainian forces have also focused on integrating drones into their overall battlefield strategy, employing them alongside traditional artillery and infantry to create a multi-layered defense and offense. Both sides utilize these drones for their ability to bypass traditional air defense systems, creating a new dynamic on the battlefield. While the drones can be small and low-tech, their impact on military operations has been significant, with both sides constantly adapting their tactics to leverage this evolving technology. Ukrainians in the south also taking advantage of only a small and local truce. Observed by Russians, Ukrainian forces are also evacuating the dead and wounded. This is footage from the Zaporizhzhia direction.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.